Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Cooper, and I'm living the dream. And of course, I'm here with my cohort, Marion LaSalle, owner of Natural Curiosity. Good morning, Marion.
Good morning.
Well, are you ready to believe that we are already in June? We're already getting faster and closer to the middle of June, which of course just makes us have to speed up things, right? And then finally, we're just going forward into getting out of COVID. There's life after COVID. And now we have to bounce into action like Tigger and just go everywhere, right? Isn't that what we're feeling right now?
I don't think, well, some of us think it's over and some of us think we're still in it. So
Well,
I'm not sure. There's kind of some mixed emotions and feelings going on out there.
okay. So then let me put it this way: business has to keep going, whether it is completely done or not.
Yes.
Okay. And for me, it
Yes.
seems as though all of the businesses and entrepreneurs and everybody, we just kind of slowed down, and cocooned ourselves and prepared ourselves and said, okay, the minute's ready. Well, now it's ready. Now is the time to light that candle, right? So that's where we're at today. Today, we're discussing the video content for video marketing. A lot of people, Marion, and I'm going to say
That's
it.
what I love.
I know I'm going to say it myself. Let me go ahead and say this. It took Marion a lot of time to get me from behind the camera to in front of the camera.
That's true.
When you're standing behind the camera, Marion, I didn't have to wear makeup. I did. I did. I didn't have
Uh-huh.
to have a certain clothes. I could put on a red shirt and be wearing my label and put "Living the Dream" on it, and boom, it looked like those old polo shirts with my little logo on it. And I could wear tennis shoes, and of course now I can as well. But you get the idea. It was so much more comfortable behind the camera, Marion. And
Yes.
then and then Marion told the truth, which is something she's known for doing. And she says, Melinda, you constantly preach and teach. You have to be seen. So she says, where are you, Melinda? Hmm.
I couldn't find her. Could you?
You could find living the dream, but you couldn't find the face, right?
That's
Um,
right.
and so that's kind of where we're at, folks. When people forget that video marketing has really changed the world and the way we are working together is because now people have you to connect with. They actually see Marion LaSalle now. Of course, she's everywhere, right? Marion took it took it to heart. She is everywhere doing a fabulous job. She's out there doing show productions. She's out there doing YouTube. She's out there doing daily shows. She's out there doing the work.
Podcasting,
Podcast,
live
you name it.
shows. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
I think a lot of people, Melinda, are nervous that they don't want to come across as selling something. So we went over this last week in the show last week. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go back and check it out, because basically what this is how I really feel, that people don't want to be perceived as a salesman, because salespeople are icky. They're always trying to sell you. So if you can look at it as you're shining your light from the inside out, then promotion's fun. Then getting in front of the camera is fun, because you're helping people. You're sharing yourself. You're not selling or promoting in the way that is agitating to people.
Well, and that, Marion, I'm glad that you brought that up. I think that video, in earnest, unless you're going to get out there. When I was a little girl, there was a man that would come on and he'd go, Sunday, Sunday,
Oh, I
Sunday
remember that.
afternoon, right? And I was like, turn it down, turn it off. I
Yeah.
hate that guy. And I was trying to, that's back when you had to get up and actually change the dial, right? And so nobody wants that. I know I didn't then, and I still don't, right? That's just not who I am. So I believe that what we're trying to talk about is the fact that video, one, and then video marketing, two, right? There's two different things for me, is the idea that one, it gives everybody the possibility of contacting, knowing who you are. When people see me, they're going to go, oh my God, it's red. It's Melinda. Right? It's got something red. It's Melinda. Right? Yeah, that's Melinda coming. Right? And hopefully they'll get to know my music and they'll go, oh my God, here comes Melinda. She's going to be dancing in. Right? So all of us get to where we put our brand first. and let people know who we are, right? And for me, video gives them the opportunity to hear my voice, to hear how I speak and carry my message. And you know what? Find out if, I don't like the way she just boom, boom, boom. I don't like that. I want somebody with flowers. I want somebody who's sweet. That's not Melinda, right? And I think that that's what video marketing and video content is all about. What do you think, Marion?
Okay, so you're defining your audience basically by being out there. So are people going to be turned off? Yes. Are people going to fall in love? Yes. Are people going to be, whatever? Yeah. And so you have to get comfortable with that. Now, I would highly recommend that if you've never done video before, that you start with audio. So start with doing some podcasting, or start with recording your voice and listening to it, letting other people listen to it. And then once you get past that, you can try video. If you're going to do like a video of yourself, you can try just recording yourself and
What
seeing, what do you not like about what you just saw? Because a lot of people have that problem. They're like, oh, I don't want to hear myself. Oh, I don't want to look at myself. Well, you know what? It's not about you. It's
That's right.
about how others perceive you. So if you can look at yourself and say, well, I say and ah a lot, which people really, then you can correct that. And so you can start out by doing that. It doesn't take long for you to see what your speech habits are, or if you're doing too much with your hands or that type of thing. Video is really fun if you think of it as sharing.
Well,
I think that's the
absolutely.
biggest thing. Share.
Share everything you have. Here's the funny thing about it.
Not
And
everything, Melinda. Come on.
well, every now and then, you never know what they might need. But here's the deal, which is something I want to say out loud is when I speak to my clients and they're not in front of the camera, I say, get yourself in front of Zoom for 2 weeks, every single day. Practice for 15 minutes, just 15. Ask questions, talk about what you do, talk about what you like, it doesn't matter, because these are your 2 weeks of videos, right? You do your own video, you see yourself, you sit at different places in your home or in your place. Right now, I'm sitting in what I call is my reconstruction room, while I'm trying to rearrange another room for my videos and everything that I'm about to take care of. It really is the process of, I got to find me a place where I can still go live and get my work done. So this is just a temporary spot. The background's going to be changed, the whole thing. But here's the deal. Unless we take those steps and say, let me sit in this room, let me sit in that room, let me look at the lighting. Oh, I didn't like that light, I didn't like that place. Unless you start looking, truly looking. And if you have a buddy, such as Marion or somebody else that you really trust and believe in, and you say, I'm going to send you over a video. You can only watch 5 minutes if you'd like, or the whole 15, it doesn't matter. But would you look at it and tell me the critique of it? What do you see? Was the lighting wrong? Was the area behind me bad? Was it distractive? Whatever it is, but you have to do that. Now, let's get back to point. It's all about content, right? Video marketing. I'm a firm believer. This is Melinda, and I just did this last night, actually, very late last night. I was delivering a promise that I made to 42 women, I think. I'd been into a group, they were looking for something, and I said, oh, I give away an ebook for that. I give away a checkbook. Would you like it? Everybody went, me, right? So I was like, sure. So I made sure to personally message every single one of them with that checklist, right? And it's all about building your list, how to get out there, how to get in front of people, how to make, start making that connection, that relationship, so you can grow your business, right? I gave that checklist to them. Now, here's the deal. I could have very easily gotten online and said, hey, I have this ebook, and, you can have it if you do this. I could have very easily. Instead, I could have gotten in and gotten the ebook, my checklist, and I could have just done a video on just that checklist, right? Bump, 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 bump. If you're looking for this, this is the best way I've noticed to do it, or this is what people are recommending, whatever you want to say, right? And that could have been video content as well, right? But the biggest thing for me is any kind of content, especially video, it's got to have value. It's got to have value, Marion. People are looking for solutions. What do you think?
I guess it depends on your audience and what it is you're trying to accomplish, what kind
Right.
of value you're going to be giving. So I think that a lot of people have a problem when they say, well, what am I going to talk about?
Right.
You know, so do you have to have a goal? Yes. Value is in the eye of the beholder or the
Right.
ear of the beholder, right? So it just depends. Do you have an audience no matter what you're talking about? That's the weird part about being human. Yes, you could talk about dogs. You could talk about the sky. You could talk about housing. You could talk about anything. And the value to me is talking about something that's interesting to you and to your audience. So let's say you want to create a brand new business. You might want to consider talking to a coach or somebody that does not have anything invested in you,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that
Right.
you can find out what it is that people are willing to pay for, that people are interested in, and that it will hold your attention. Those are some very valuable points to make when you're doing video. So value, think about it.
Yeah.
If
And
I were to sit down and say, I know how to tie my shoelaces, want to see a video about that?
probably not. I could show
Probably
that to my new grandbaby and maybe she'll be ready.
maybe not.
Right.
So I think instead of coming down hard on yourself, instead of beating yourself up about, I don't know what I would talk about, you need to find out from your coach or from your spouse or your neighbor or a buddy like Melinda and I do a lot. We bounce ideas off each other because they're going to tell us the truth.
Right.
Is anybody going to be interested in how you tie your shoes? Probably not, Marianne. Why don't you pick something else?
Right. Right. And and to me that's I hate to keep hammering this, but when
You
you're
don't
looking,
hate it. You love
I
hammering.
do. I do. What can I say? But it's everybody's going, oh my God, here she goes again on this same situation, same conversation. You have to know to your audience. Everybody has a pain point. Everybody in business, in life, there is something that is pushing them to find a solution. It's only when you give them a solution that then it pulls them to where they want to be or what they want to accomplish. So for me, the idea is when I say give them value, one, you always have to know what is the issue that you are seeking to solve. Two, now that you have the solution to the issue, who's going to want it? What kind of people? Where is your audience? And you have to go to them, right? And three, if I'm wanting to find somebody who is going to do a branding or a logo or graphics, I want somebody who can tell me this is the kind of good stuff you can put into your logo, right? Maybe somebody who can tell me about what do the colors mean. Maybe somebody can tell me about what do the words sound like. Maybe somebody can tell me about the copywriting. It doesn't matter. I want that kind of stuff if that's what I'm looking to do. Marion used the example of starting a new business. Well, then maybe you need to find somebody who can talk about niches, who can talk about how far you have to narrow it down so that you can focus and achieve that goal.
I
And
have a
then
I have a
broaden.
cute story about that.
Okay.
So, do you remember Little House on the Prairie?
Of course.
Okay. So here we are at Little House on the Prairie, and along comes the horse and buggy, and the guy stops in front of these ladies that are out there, and he looks like Colonel Sanders.
Okay.
And he's trying to talk them into coming to his restaurant. They didn't call it back then. And what he was selling was chicken. And they laughed and laughed. Ha 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 ha! A restaurant that only sells chicken. That is never good. Really? Guess what? They're a how many $1 million company now? Probably billion. I mean, it's worldwide, right? And they sell chicken.
That's right.
So I think that you can niche down as far as you want to. And the more you're niched, the better your marketing material is, the better focused you are. People who try to do everything for everybody, they don't really get any traction, even though it seems attractive. Well, I can help you no matter what you need. I mean, that sounds good, but in reality, it doesn't work. The video that you're going to produce for either gaining attraction or selling something really needs to have some kind of a subject matter, something of value, like Melinda said.
Because, the content that falls on deaf ears is unfortunately a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a frustrating, all of those things. It just comes into a real bad circle of defeat going, well, they don't want anything I have to sell. Well, reality is are you listening to what they have to say? Right? And unless you get out there and start talking to people and letting people know who you are and finding out a way to connect with you and finding out a way to make things happen, right? To make things happen. The issue comes in that you have to originally decide what is the issue you are solving and who has that issue. Let's go down. One of the things that Marion could laugh, we were talking about it. Here's the deal. Everybody was selling masks. Everybody was looking for masks. Everybody needed masks. Let's face it, that was a shock to all of us. Melinda, thank you very much. Gratefully or ungratefully, I was very much in tune with medical supplies because I had taken care of my parents, especially my mother who had cancer. And so I knew where to get medical supplies. So the minute I heard people are looking, I went to a very small, hidden medical supply place where I knew people could still walk in themselves. So I went in and I bought, I want you to laugh at this, I bought 8 boxes of gloves. 2 mediums, 2 smalls, 2 extra large, 2 large. You get the idea. Then I went in there and I bought a big box of 1,000 masks, right? And I got all this before everything hit big. So what I did was I called my family and I said, okay, who's got gloves? Well, you can take 100. You can take and I started doling them out to my family members, and I gave people a mask and I said, you need one here. And I'd send it to them, or I'd run over there and just drop it in their mailbox with a little bag and stuff like this kind of stuff. And people were like, are you kidding me? I'm like, yes. Because when I bought them, when they spoke to me, when I knew them exactly, when I knew what I needed, they filled the issue that I was looking for. They solved my problem immediately. My husband and I tickled the other day because we have finally opened, right, our second box of masks. Right? We still had a whole nother box of masks, but now I've actually made us a mask. I've actually made us, my parents were tailors, so I know how to sew and I know how to, so I finally got us some. I went and I ordered some elastic online, everything came in. So we have some. I even have a little veil for my brand new granddaughter. You get the idea, because they answered my problem. They answered the issue I was trying to get, right? And that's where people have to get to. You have to know what you are looking to solve, because only until you are, what did Zig Ziglar used to say? Only until you help enough people to solve their issue will you really become successful.
Okay, so let's drill down to this. Okay, so I'm thinking of coaches. There's a lot of coaches out there. And if you just call yourself a business coach, or you just call yourself a personal coach, or you just call yourself, some generic name, people, but let's say you were to say, I'm a personal coach who helps people move past the problems that arise after divorce. Whoa, okay, now you're speaking my language. I just got divorced. I'm ready to move forward. I want you, okay, because you're going to solve my problem. So I think that I know I keep saying this, but if you try to do all this in your head or try to do the research and it's only you, it can get very overwhelming and very confusing. And so I know that I keep saying that you need to work with somebody, but I don't believe many people go very far if they just rely on themselves. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's the human condition, I believe, that we need someone else to look at our material or our idea and give us feedback, good or bad.
Well, here is mine, and my turn or my thought on that. First off, I'm a reader of books. So I read tons of books all the time, and they're all about business, to be honest with you. I have one personal book, but otherwise I keep one personal book a month, but I will cover 3 to 4 business books a month. Get the difference? So here's the deal. I would rather find somebody who has already laid all those bricks for the yellow brick road than me to come up to a dirt road and have to try to figure out how to lay the bricks. Right? They've already paved it. It looks beautiful. It's shiny. It's going where it's supposed to go. It leads you into a direction. It shows you. So I'm going to go to that person and say, wow, I've noticed you've already paved the path. You've already achieved where I want to be. Folks, that's usually a coach. That's usually a mentor. That's usually a consultant.
So you have a group that you can join, and I have the name of it is actually called Living the Dream Business Membership Group. And to me, that gives you more than just a coach. That gives you not just the coach, but also the membership, the other people in the membership who can help you, give you ideas, bounce ideas off each other, and really form a community, because we are groups of people. We belong to families. We belong
Community,
to
churches.
our neighborhood. We belong to our state, our country. We have bowling teams, basically we want to fit in somewhere, and this group, this membership group that you're designing is about what we need. So I feel like if you really need support, which you do, I think you should at least consider it. Go out and look at it.
I think that, fast forward group, my fast forward group is something that I truly love. Marion is part of it. Thank you, Marion, for being a part of it. But I'm going to tell you that I find things that other people, and I'm like, oh, so-and-so needs that in the group. So I'll put it in there for everybody, and then some people will say, well, I didn't need that. I said, really? Look at it and just take some notes. See if it's really what you think you don't need. And then after they take a moment to read the article or watch the video or see something else that I recommend, all of a sudden they're going, oh, I did need that. This is what I got out of it, right? I like the golden nuggets that I can just drop in for people to still be able to do stuff on their own, but yet we're able to discuss it and build it or help each other. I tried that. This didn't work. That worked. Because I believe you're absolutely right, Marion. We are stronger together when we're all working together, when we're collaborating together, when we're trying to achieve. We're stronger that way because one person might miss a step, but a group won't. The group that I belong to, and I answered last night, one of the ladies said, straight up, she said, my headband is going back, folks, I'm sorry. One of the ladies says, I need some help with trying to buy or trying to find leads, or how do I create a list, build her list is what she was actually looking for. And there was a lot of women. Some people said, oh, here's my $7 package, go sign up for it. Here's my program, go sign. I turned around, I looked at it, and I thought, wait a minute, folks. These people are already saying that they're limited in their funds. They're saying that they're just getting into it. So what did I say? I give this away to you. I give it to you. Here is your value. I'm giving it to you. And the reason I want to give it to you is that maybe it's a step up. And maybe you'll say, oh my God, that is so much value. I'm going to go join Fast Forward. I'm going to go to Living the Dream membership. I'm going livingthedreambusiness.com. I'm going to go find Fast Forward and I'm going to join that group, because if this is what she's willing to give away, can you imagine how much else I'm willing to give you?
Hey,
right?
Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. And that's the whole thing. If we learn that we can work together, build together, and grow together, all of us will reach that goal faster. Doesn't have to be the same goal, but we can reach our goals because now we have some semblance of collaboration, and everybody's working as a team.
I agree. It's a different way of looking at it. Used to be traditional business. It was, the CEO and, maybe a board and employees, and, those three people usually didn't meet, those three entities. And now it's more like, let's work on this together. Let's get each other's opinions and let's vote and let's try to figure this out together. And to me, that is so much better. That is so much better. It's easier, it's faster, and it gives you more clarity.
Well, and Marion, when you work together, you will discover, I used to work for a very large corporation, shall I call it? I used to work for the government. And when I very first started, I was typing very slow. And then as time came on, I left there typing 110 words a minute. So while I was typing faster and faster, I discovered that in my group or in the areas, I would say, okay, what do you like doing? And they would go, well, I like this part. Okay, you do all of that because that's the part I don't like. And I'll do all of this. And all of a sudden, the numbers and the adjudications and everything that we had to do was going higher because I allowed her to take time that she wanted or needed for that project, while I could do what I did best and speed it up and do it on this side. So our numbers balanced because we were a team. You do what you do best, I do what I do best, and let's keep going.
There you go.
And that's part of being the team. That's part of being a group. That's part of building together.
So as far as creating videos goes, it's going to be a personal thing, but we're recommending that you work with a team, at least a buddy or a coach or something. So some of the things that I feel are important when it comes to video it is more of a natural way of handling yourself. Can you be stiff and proper and wear the perfect clothes and have the perfect background? Of course you can, but people are over that. They're not wanting that corporate look anymore. They're wanting a connection with you. So relax a little bit, try it out. In the group, we'd be happy to watch your video, give you feedback. Melinda's very, very not critical, but she's brutally honest. She calls herself kind of like a Tina Turner. She never does anything nice and easy. But don't let that scare you, because she's going to give you suggestions that are going to help you move your video forward and get it out there. Visibility, that's what she's all about. Getting you seen. That's right. I'm a strategic visibility consultant coach. Now, let me tell you something. You have to I don't care what anybody says. Let me tell you right now, you have to be in front of the camera. You have to do videos. It's instant. It's right there. People can see you. They have a connection. You have to do that. Your content will depend on your business and your message. Yeah, and we're coming right along, aren't we? We got lives, we got videos on your phone, you got Zoom. There's all kinds of things.
There's all
Is there
kinds of
anything,
things.
any last words that you have today, Melinda?
I do, and I'm just going to say it loud and clear in case anybody can't hear me out in Pocomo, but here it is. You have to be visible or you are not doing business. No one is going to come look for you unless they know you exist. No one is going to hear your message unless you speak it, unless you show it, unless you shine it, unless you share it. So when you look at that possibility, it's the idea of going, how can I get my message out there? Video and video content is here to stay, folks. It's here to stay.
Yeah, and we have a lot more to say about video in another session.
Another
We're here
session.
every single Tuesday at 9 o'clock Central Time. Yeah, and we're looking forward to answering your questions. And Melinda has so much to offer. I suggest you go and check her out and just have a conversation.
Yes, I'm here. Ask questions. I'm willing to help the best way I can.
She won't bite your head off.
That's right. But you guys, I want you to have a great day. Continue to take a deep breath. Know that you're blessed. And thank you for joining us at livingthedreambusiness.com. We're sorry about that. I know that I ended up one more time, right?
Yeah. So you were saying I cut you off right in the middle of your sentence. What were you saying?
We are here.
All right, we're here. Bye for now.